Mark get second?
Nothing to change.
Giving awards for the record-breaking budget presentation.
It's a big increase. Done. We ready?
There you go.
Yes.
We are.
Okay. So this is probably the largest increase that I've brought to you guys, and it primarily consists of 3 items that take up the majority of that. One is what we discussed earlier during the board meeting, regular session.
Yeah.
Another would be the way that we're doing our backups. We need to start doing offsite backups at a true offsite location instead of just a local offsite location in case a disaster actually hits worse than what we, yeah.
You mean like a
Hope it
local
doesn't.
disaster? Your local,
Right.
because there's a company at Jacksonville called
Commissioner Booth, are you
CoLogix. They do
sending
exactly
them
that.
those?
Wait a minute,
Your mom was-
Right, so we're looking at getting a true offsite.
Yeah, hang on 1 second, I'm so sorry. I don't think that was in the commission file transfer.
No, I
Commissioner Bennett,
don't,
are you seeing?
no, I was just looking for it too. I
Okay.
was back over another one. I don't have that.
Okay, I'm sending it really quick now.
Supper time.
Sorry. I don't know how that one didn't make it in there.
I hate to eat while
Okay,
we're
it's in
doing
your,
it. I gotta
email.
eat
Keep
something.
eating. You ain't, nobody's offended. I'm not sure if anybody's just sitting up asleep watching us.
Okay.
If they are, they're trying to go to sleep.
Yeah,
True.
they really bored if they sat up that way.
If they sitting up watching us, you know all we are is we're gonna call it, what's the night, whatever. We
Sleep aid.
Sleep aid, whatever. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
We're getting silly too now. We need to get back on track.
Delirious. You should have it in your email, Commissioner Bennett. I'm not really sure how that.
Just
went.
popped up.
This ain't live.
Just say when.
Roll with it.
You can go ahead. I'll catch up now.
Okay.
Got it.
So the second item, like I was saying, is really getting a true offsite backup arranged that's more than 100 miles away from here in case a true disaster occurs. We don't need our only offsite backup being a mile down the road in either direction, which is what we currently do. So that'll account for the second item, which was the backups. And then the third item is we're circling back around again to a drone and LiDAR system, this time for something completely different from what we brought it up 2 years ago for. 2 years ago, it was for internal mappings. This one is more for FEMA compliance. Other than that, we don't really have anything else that's much more of a increase over it is out of the norm. We did have one other item that we had to add for memberships because of federal funding disappearing. But that's only $3,500. We took our email licenses, which is going to account for a negative change in communications, and we moved those into the licenses with everything else just to keep it more tidy and neat. We do have some networking equipment for the tax collector in here as well.
Network switch, that was the backup.
The network switch on the details of operating and non-operating capital, that is specifically for the tax collector's office.
Okay. And then the drones, the last 3 for
The
a
last
total
3,
of
yes, sir.
31,600.
Yes, sir.
That's for FEMA reporting.
Yes,
With
sir.
a LiDAR?
Yes, sir. So we've had several meetings with EOC and FEMA representatives, and they've told us several times LiDAR is the gold standard as far as FEMA is concerned.
Explain that to me.
So
in the layman's terms.
LiDAR is like radar, but it's using lasers to get a map of the terrain. It's basically what we would do is go out pre-hurricane. We would do a mapping of the roads, especially the ones that we expect will be impacted. That way we have not just pictures of a before and after, but we would have actual structure of the before road versus what it looks like after.
It'll give a topo.
We actually have to do it or FEMA denies it.
Yes, it is a
And
requirement
then
of the FEMA
some,
process.
some counties are able to use it as part of their GIS too.
That's why we're doing it is to incorporate it into our GIS system. Doing it through ArcGIS would also enable us to do other projects with it. Got a list of them here.
Did we get any state money for that? Rep Brandon was talking about that in his presentation.
We didn't.
He was talking about how some smaller counties were getting money for LiDAR imagery.
Not that I'm aware of. Just an example of some of the other things we would be able to do is the floodplain mapping and stormwater modeling, grant readiness for the BRIC and other FEMA-related grants, trail management for Shoals Park, commercialization for ecotourism, search and rescue missions if needed, readiness planning, and then it's flexible. You can attach different payloads to it to make it usable in different scenarios as needed. So it's not a LiDAR system specifically, it's a multi-use system.
What about the license to fly?
So it is, the model that we're looking at is FAA compliant. And the license, it does not require a license, but it does require training.
Yeah.
And the
And who's gonna receive that
$8,000,
training?
Greg would do that training, and we've got that budgeted already.
It's already in the budget. And how much is the training?
I'm not sure exactly how much the FAA training is. The people that I've talked to said it's under $2,000, but I haven't got an exact quote.
And this would help on FEMA reimbursements?
That's what FEMA's telling us.
This
Like Rich
is,
said, it is a requirement
Yeah,
to
this
have before
happens in-
pictures and after pictures, and elevations and things like that have to be shown in those pictures.
So one of the things that the Florida Department of Transportation run into is trying to know what kind of volumes of stuff they had to haul off when they come through. They go through and do cut and toss, get the stuff off the road, get the roads open back up, but then they've got to come through and determine what kind of volumes they got to go now pick back up and haul away. LiDAR, as well as erosions outside the roads and things, and of course they deal on state roads and big roads and deal with bridges. But the LiDAR lets you, if we go and fly it ahead of time, that's what it all comes down to. I want to make sure we're clear. This is going to require staff time to go do this.
So it's a pre
It's,
and post.
you fly it ahead of time, so you have a precondition thing. Then afterwards, and then you got all these erosions and these things rushed out, you come fly the same thing again. It would then overimpose the two and say, we've had this, and you can do it from
This
this area to
much
this
cubic
area. Show me the difference in volumes of these two.
So
And it'll calculate the
and
volumes of
time,
washout. and everything.
date, stamp,
Yes,
so.
GPS locations, all of that,
Everything,
yes.
okay.
And it's
And what-
centimeter grade
But
accuracy.
I guess where I'm cautious with this is, I do believe there's a potential use and benefit for it. But on the same token, you can't go fly it this year and 3 years later have a washout and try to use the same thing.
No, you're absolutely right.
So where I get into concerns with these kind of applications is we haven't planned or programmed to have this done routinely, flown, for it to serve its purpose, because we can spend $30,000 and do this. And if we haven't flown the roadways beforehand, we can fly it afterwards, but it don't matter.
Right.
You're absolutely
You
right.
get the same thing if you don't we don't have a plan to fly on a regular basis and how that's going to be incorporated to use it. It's not worth the effort. That's where I come into the concern is what is our plan and what is the impacts to being able to do that such that it can come back. I hear those other things about ecotourism and all those are just really nice things to say it could do. Reality is we're not into the business of using it for that because it takes time to do that. So to me, my concern is the data collection side of it. This is talking about the capital purchase, the piece versus the purchase, the piece of equipment. What is the corresponding resource requirement of staff and things to be able to use it? That's what's not articulated here.
Annual is what we're being advised. Those normal blue skies maps and data, they have to be updated annually.
And if we have a storm coming in, we have roads that we know are
Yes.
just going to be washed out. We would go and proactively take care of that
Yes.
as a known point of impact.
Have we identified areas that these are priorities, these are areas that we have to do?
We've worked a little with the Public Works Department. I keep wanting to call them the Road Department, to identify these areas. And Greg, in particular, who manages the GIS portion of my team, has worked with them very close to do so.
Yes.
When would we have a list of those areas or priorities?
I think we would know it honestly now. I mean, we know
Yeah.
what they are. If you'd like to see that, we could put that, formally together. But it's the same areas we know flood each year.
Well, I
Um,
think Greg needs to know, this is what you've got to
Oh,
do,
yes.
how often you got to do them, and this is your checklist, and
Yes, sir.
these are priorities, and these are lesser priorities, but important.
Yes, sir.
So I think we just have to establish a protocol.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we're spending this $30,000 for.
Internal operating procedures on it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would like to see the standard operating, when it's gonna be done, when is the schedule. I don't want to invest this kind of money into a drone for a play toy, which I don't think that's what's going to happen. When I first heard drone, first thing you think of, I would like to have a drone too.
Right.
But when you throw that first word on there where it said FEMA, that's on my high priority list right now. I've seen what other small communities has went through, because I travel up 441 going to my hunting camp, and that's straight where that hurricane went. And I seen the devastation firsthand, and I still see it today, of what a storm can do to a community. I don't want to be caught in that situation and not be prepared. But I want to make sure that there is a procedure, a process on entering this data and the updates and everything is kept. Because this is an investment for the county that we don't need to make for it to sit on the shelf.
Yes, sir.
It's not going to benefit us a bit. And also, when you're submitting stuff to FEMA, you can submit those procedures. This is how we handle mapping.
Yes, sir.
And that is part of what they're asking for from us now is, what is your pre-storm? What do you do pre-storm? Not just when you need money. So before I probably wouldn't support it, but now that I know the importance in the FEMA side of what you're looking at, I think it would be, along with the procedures, and make sure the procedures are followed, I could buy into it.
Yes, sir.
I would like to know by the time the next meeting, before we adopt this budget, two things. One, I don't have a problem with the expense of buying it, the equipment. What I also want to know is, one, what areas do we need, what's the estimated length of road that we've got to do? What's the areas that we've got to do? And what kind of time are we talking about doing it? Because somebody's got to do that. And if it means Greg's doing it, what I don't want to say is we were too busy and couldn't get to it, and now we have no benefit from the FEMA side of it because we couldn't do it.
Right.
We've got to know that, one, there's available staff to do it, and if are they doing that in addition to the current duties? Because what's going to happen next is, this is the way it typically works, is all of a sudden now we're going to add duties and add costs to that position because now they got these additional duties. And if they've got the resources, if they've got the staff time and the ability to do it, to me, I'm not in favor of adding more money to do more when we're saying they've got the staff time to do it. We pay a salary to do a job, and whether they're sitting in the office doing it or overdoing it, I want to be careful that this is not another opportunity to say, I need an increase for them to do this because we've added duties. Because every time we've talked about tonight that there's a little bit different responsibilities, it's come with additional money, right?
Right.
And I'm cautious with that because we had a $2.25 million shortfall already this week. So if we're going to go down this path, we better be able to demonstrate that we can do it, and that when the FEMA time comes in, it's been fruitful for us to do this. It's been the right thing to do.
Yes, sir. And I can tell you that Greg has been heavily involved in the previous storms last year, especially last year, working with the road department, going out before the storm and collecting the video data and the photographic data already. So he's already incorporated part of that into his job workflow.
Okay.
Would this be included in our floodplain management efforts?
That is the plan.
Yes.
And if y'all can do this in-house, I'll just tell you, one of my other counties contracted with a company to do this very work, and I think it was between $600,000 and $800,000.
It's expensive.
It's very expensive.
And we've
I-
already put Greg through the training for Point Cloud. That's the information you get out of it is Point Cloud. Every little reflection of the laser is recorded as an individual point, and it takes millions of these points every time you fly it. He's already went through the training to manage that data.
It's large files. I use it at work. I mean, we use LiDAR. So, I mean, you've sold me on that. And then definitely the $31,000 investment here, whenever you're talking about getting FEMA funding back to help our county, is a small investment for a large portion of money that we can get
Especially when
back
you
for
have
here.
staff that can already do it.
Correct. So I'm
Especially over
full
the
support of
course
that.
years.
You also hurt somebody else's budget whenever you said it could help with search and rescue, because I know that was talked about with I think the Shoals Park. So with this, I would encourage you to definitely, work interfacility with them, whenever that need arises. That way we can, I definitely like it here. So.
And I tell you what, I wouldn't mind. I know this is an expensive thing, but one person trained, I think this year is fine. But as we move forward, we need to train 2 people.
Sure.
We should never be in a position where we
Well,
have
we're
single
depending
points
on one.
of failure.
Right.
Well, I just went through this exercise at work about
Right.
4 months ago, and we've identified single points of failure where only one person does a job, and it's only one. And we've gone through a process, systematically processed, and got somebody assigned to doing it, to making sure that single point of failure is writing a
Right.
manual for his job and how it's done, such that if they walk out the door, look, the reality is somebody could be in a car crash tomorrow, so you don't ever know what's going to happen.
Right.
We need to have somebody to do it. So this follows back to we should never have single points of failure because nobody knows how to do it.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that we got the resources available. If we're going to spend the capital if we're going to spend the money for the capital purchase, we've got a resource plan to be able to make sure it accomplishes what we say and it will accomplish.
I agree.
Okay. Okay. Next.
Like I said, other than that, those 3 items are the large items that are truly taking up the vast majority of my increase.
I'm showing an $81,000 increase,
Yes, 81,616.
$74,000 in operating capital.
Mhm.
Capital expenditures show a $57,000 increase.
81,616.
Am I missing something?
I'm looking,
The increase amount is $37,000.
Where are you? On capital,
Yes, ma'am.
page 6 at the, 7 at the bottom. I'm sorry, 8.
Okay.
He included licenses.
Right, which used to be in
Operating,
operating.
but that is a capital expenditure.
So it was just moved from
So
one
that
sheet
that
to
formula didn't carry down is what it is.
another. I redid the math on that, I think.
Okay. Cheryl, that formula, the
Mhm.
36,000 wasn't calculated. That's all it was.
Yeah, I see that.
Dragged the formula down from 8,000.
36,664 should be
Okay.
the increase there. That would be a 90% change. And then that takes the total increase for the capital outlay from 37,580 to 74,244, which I believe is 122%.
You're fine. I just couldn't figure out where the 74 was coming from. You're good.
So 81,616 is the right number, correct?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. All right. What else we got on this one?
That's it.
That
Should be.
That is the majority of it right there.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then of course the increase with the
Payroll.
3% and,
Right.
and everything else.
Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
Well, I appreciate it, brother.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Moving to item number 25, which is Miss Sarah, DOCC.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I done
Mr.
lost one of my
Chairman.
sheets.
I don't want to know where that tab's at.
I don't know where it's gone down.
The one you just emailed?
Yeah. Hold on, I sent it again.
Oh,
Just 1 second, I'm sorry. There wasn't an attachment there?
Mm.
I can tell you what the first line went down.
Hang on one second, I'm sorry, let me share this real fast. Let me share it.
Is that in the folder?
Was something not right?
I think Commissioner Marcus got another one.
Well, I got a different one than that too.
Did you just get the one out of the folder?
I got one that was sent to me earlier. Did we just send another one?
Cheryl,
She
you made a
did.
change to one of the columns or the totals or something?
I did, I reclassified, or I trued up the commissioner's salaries
Yeah.
because they were in drop line.
Go to that email she just sent.
Did you just send a new one?
I did right now, yes, sir.
All right.
So the real number is 120,
What she's got is
decrease
128.
128,543.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
You sure that ain't a 2,100,000?
I mean, we can only do so much, you know. I would like to point out that BOCC actually is a little bit of a catch-all budget as well. So when you see some of these numbers and you think, how are Sarah and Kayla spending that much money in office supplies? We're not. It's because there's some other things that come from out of that too. So just for our two commissioners who've not gone through this before, we'll go through it obviously, but I just want to, start with that caveat. If it's okay with you guys, we'll go to salary list first on page 3. So again, Cheryl just mentioned that she had changed the salaries there, so that's a more accurate reflection of where we're at on the elected officials' salaries there. 3% raise has been given to my position in accordance with what the direction was just for review today at this point from the commission. The assistant to the county manager is being considered for a policy adjustment, not a salary increase. So in this budget year and most recently in the last 7 or 8 months or so, Kayla, I'm going to brag on her a little bit. She has expanded her job duties exponentially to some more detailed work and assistance to me. So just you guys are aware we've had a little change in her duties. It's from the time sensitive stuff that was really it took up a lot of her time. We'll just say it this way, on minute keeping and things like that. So we've reallocated some duties to Kayla, and she's done exceptionally well with that. And looking at her salary in comparison to other positions in the county, we really probably should have looked at her salary before this year, honestly. She was probably a little too low in comparison with other admin assistants that we already had. So keeping that in mind, like I said, in comparison with similar jobs and in light of her expanded duties that she's been doing with a lot of detailed reporting and stuff for me, we are recommending that she go up to a salary of $16.50 an hour. instead of a policy instead of the 3% raise there for her.
So she's at what now?
1506 now?
1506, yes, sir.
So a
Okay.
$1.50 raise?
Yes, sir, and that puts her very much in line with the other staff of comparable positions.
I'd like to understand, you can send it separately, I'd like to understand who you're comparing it to.
I certainly can. I've got a salary sheet I can email out to you guys. Okay, and then moving on down, this is one that we've actually talked about. This is probably the third year, if I'm not mistaken. It might be more than that. Certainly understand why this has not been able to be funded before. We're going to ask again. It is something that I feel that we could definitely have some improvement upon, and that's a contract/grants manager. Most of that comes central through admin. However, we've got a lot of different people that do contract and grant management for us. That really falls on a lot of our directors' shoulders, depending upon their availability, the grant, and all sorts of things. So we just make the best of what we have. But this is one that we would like board consideration again. We have added that as a new position for consideration at a salary of $55,000. Again, that person would manage our contracts that we have in place with the county, any grants and appropriation projects that come through. Again, we certainly understand there is a lot of asks tonight. Typically when we start making cuts, my budget is the first one that I look at, because I'm of the opinion that if we're going to make cuts, it's going to happen with us, before anybody else. So certainly we would like for you all to consider that, but again, we understand that this is one that cannot move forward in the budget, but we are going to, like I said, we are going to talk about it at least. We did do some salary comparisons with other counties of similar size and job duties, and we're pretty comfortable with that salary being sufficient for what we're looking for. Okay, any questions on any of that?
The 55,000 is including benefits.
No, sir.
That's the
just a salary.
$55,000 base salary.
Yes, sir.
Just making sure.
Yes, sir. Moving over into operating, just going to take this in a little more detail.
I want to comment on that one, if I
Oh, I'm
may,
sorry.
before we
Yes,
jump
sir.
back.
Certainly.
This is one that I actually think is a really good idea to have. I'm not sure it's a $55,000 position because it's all admin. We're not asking for them to go out and do anything, build it. It's an admin function
Yes, sir.
to check on it and keep the status of it. And I don't think that's a $55,000 a year thing to track it. The other departments are still having to deliver the projects. The road department still got to deliver the road department projects. You've got everybody that have to do the delivery of the actual projects and make sure the work gets done and all of that.
Yes.
This is just, the way I see it is tracking it, keeping up with it, seeing where the invoice is at, who's handling it, who's responsible.
Well, it would require some hands-on things, like for instance here, the COA projects. We've had the bus wash and the new Senior Life Enrichment Center that required hands-on site inspections and things like that. So ideally, that person would take on those roles as well.
Okay.
Would that position be applying for grants too?
No, sir. This would just be managing contracts and grants once they're in-house. Not to say that we couldn't expand upon that, but really our focus at this point is just managing what we already have and those future ones that we would be getting. And a lot of those grants that we do receive, there's an option to charge admin fees back to them that could offset this cost. We've not done that in the ones that we currently have on the books, but moving forward, we most certainly could do that, where this $55,000 cost is not straight from our pockets. It could be charged back to that grant to offset that cost. We can certainly make that a part of our process moving forward to help fund this position. Any other questions on salary list before we move to operating?
I would like to go over page 6, if you don't mind.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Go back.
Page 6, line 15, special pay in FEMA.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, when we talked about the Christmas incentives,
Yep.
this is where this line item came into play. So $336,351 was to pay for Christmas incentives for the all your departments. Okay, so this was a catch-all line, and that's why you see a negative
Mm-hmm.
on the front page.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought you had that under operating. I forgot it was under page 6. Thank you for that, catching that.
And I can take this out so you can see what you're actually budgeting, but I just wanted to tell you as well, that's your actual, which you approved of last September.
Right.
So, we took out the 336,351. Okay?
Any other questions? Cheryl, anything else to add on that one? All right, so operating, just gonna kind of start at the top. VAB attorney, that is, that value adjustment award, we do fund that out of our professional services. There's no change to that contracted service, but just want to make sure we point that out. New item that we have on this, and honestly, it's one that this year we're working on. We really don't know what to request for in the upcoming year because this is a brand new process. But line number 10 under FEMA, you'll see that we've got some actual expenditures of $12,958. That is our Thomas Howell Ferguson contract that we entered into several months ago to help manage all of our FEMA paperwork and processes and all of that. So that's what that charge is for. We've not gone through any kind of full budget year process to know what those amounts would truly look like. This is brand new for us, but I did want to point out that that's what that line item is for. Moving on down under other professional, Commissioner Mann and I have actually talked about this at length over the last couple of months. This is something that's been brought up in commission meetings as well, is the need to do an impact fee study. So we did reach out for a proposal from the company that did our fire assessment study. The impact fees are one that they specialize in as well. And this is for the full range. This is not specific to transportation. This is every impact fee that's allowable by the state of Florida. This study would provide some type of direction and guidance to you all. That does not mean that anyone's saying we need those, but it's just to give you the information to be able to make a decision on whether or not it's something we want to move forward. We know at length we've talked about roads, and we've talked about the need for a potential, fire rescue type impact fee. So certainly we don't support just because it's allowable that we're going to recommend it. But because for budgeting purposes, we wanted to make sure that we had a worst case scenario, so to speak, on how much this study would cost. So the study itself is $75,000, and then there's an additional $25,000 in legal fees. Because you guys, if you remember, we had to have a specialized attorney that went hand in hand with that study. So that total is $100,000 that's been added to this budget.
And it also looks at solid waste
Yes,
impact
sir.
fees.
Yes, sir.
So solid waste impact and
Fire assessment.
Fire assessment.
It's not the assessment. It would be just an impact fee.
This one's
So,
just
but there are there's a wide range of things that are allowable to actually enact an impact fee on. So yes, or not assessments. This would be separate
So-
from that.
But the process to
It's very-
analyze it
it's
and
the
review,
same.
it's very similar.
It's the
So
same.
it would give you an
basically.
idea if it would be worth to go for an assessment.
Correct, and you cannot establish an impact fee rate without this study. This is that and it has to be done within a certain time frame.
12 months.
Yes.
12
But-
months from hiring them to imposing the rate.
I want to make sure I'm understanding. There's two different things. There's an impact fee that you collect one time when they're building or something,
Correct.
whatever, right? You
Correct.
get one bite of the apple.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
That's a much different than a special assessment, which is you get that bite every year.
Yes.
Well, that's
We're talking
think
impact
of that as
fee.
a user fee.
Yes.
So,
Impact
so I
is-
want to understand are we only doing, this is only looking at impact, the potentials that we could charge a one-time thing for, not
Correct.
assessments.
Correct.
So I want to be clear,
Yeah.
it don't help us give us any guidance for assessments at all.
No, sir. This
No.
is
This is
just
only
for
on
impact.
potential
Just for
impact.
impact.
Impact fees are infrastructure. It's like the county government's growing, so it's law enforcement, fire. There's libraries.
Mhm.
Some of them
There were
even do
7 or 8
like
different
conservation. There's a lot of different areas you can collect impact fees for.
My feeling is if you're not going to go that route, or if you think you're not going to, why do you spend the money to do the fee study?
We would want to do the fee study on the services that you all would like to see an impact fee on.
I thought you just said this one covers them all.
It would. This is the worst case scenario, that if we wanted to engage with them for everything, then that's what that fee would be. And I'll read them to you. Fire, EMS, law enforcement, parks and recreation, roads and transportation, in addition to schools. We have had some conversations with the school district as well. Their impact fee has not been looked at in a very long time, and they would like to participate in this with us if we choose to move forward. That is part of their desire as well, is to look at their fees. So again, this is the $100,000 would be if you all wanted to look at every single one of those services. Again, this was just for budgeting purposes. There's a lot of questions that we would have to ask and narrow that down to a little less number. So we just went broad spectrum with what our request was, because obviously we're a ways out from having this done as well. So $100,000 would be the worst case scenario cost. If you all decide to only look at transportation and schools, that cost could be reduced.
But stuff like your parks and recs, like that's how counties build new ball fields when you have
Yes.
more kids coming.
Yes.
So,
So you could do an impact fee on recreation
Yes.
yes,
and infrastructure.
you can pick
So that's
whichever
what
one
you're
you
talking
want.
Any
about.
one of those are.
Now I
all-
get where you're coming from.
Yeah. Fire, EMS, law enforcement, parks and
So
recreation,
you
roads
can
and
actually do an
transportation.
impact fee, a one-time impact fee on fire,
Yes.
one-time impact fee on solid waste.
Yes.
Right, so what happens is, like, as your county grows, you need to build a new fire station.
Right.
Impact fee for fire will go to the fire station, but then it's your ad valorem taxes that are gonna pay to staff it.
Right.
Right.
But here's the reality, if you don't collect impact fees, then all your current citizens now end up paying it through their tax dollars, because
Right.
you still have to provide the service.
With the expected growth that we think is coming, with the uncertainty about property taxes, the impact fees would give us an avenue to cover our cost in some areas. Yes, it is one time, but it's an opportunity as the county grows and our population expands to support our needs without putting that burden on the current tax base.
Correct, and when they do an impact fee study, they should talk to each one of you, and they'll go through their methodology on whether or not you're expecting medium, aggressive growth, and then that growth factors into those other categories.
I know when we had impact fees before, then we did away with them. And the argument was, you had your people here that their children was getting house, and then they were getting a mobile home, and then they were getting this, and they were having to pay, they couldn't pay, so we did away with ours. School never did, but we did.
The school couldn't get away from
Well,
theirs.
we
You
had
have to
a,
think of that.
we had a moratorium for many years before
Yes,
we
we
did
did.
away with it.
So
Right.
just to kind of keep it in perspective, and I'm looking at information that I got from the property appraisers about a week or so ago, the 22nd. Well, it's back. It's been 2 weeks or so ago now. And for residential, the number of residential units here in the county each year. Residential unit is whether it's a mobile home, a house, apartment, whatever. It's a residential unit, right? And from 20, I'll just read the last. From 20 to 21, we went up 120 units. 21 to 22, we went up about 150. Same thing, 22, 23, about another 150. 23 to 24, we went up 235. Right? So if we're talking about a 30, say we're talking about $1,000 impact fee, we're talking about $100 to $150,000 a year. That's what we're talking about. I mean, that's the cost that we actually would be recoup or would be charging. So that just gives you an idea of what it would be. So if we're going to go down the path, regardless, if the study says we could do it, what would we be willing to go to, right? And of course, the study would have to be able to justify it and explain it. But are we talking about I don't know what anybody's thoughts are on what we could be willing to stomach. Is it 1,000? Is it 3,000? 5?
Look,
It's-
I'll tell you, Clay just went through this 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Their impact fees went from 12,000 to 18,000. St. Johns County went from 21 to 30,000. I want to say Putnam's somewhere around 8 or 9,000. Like, and these are defensible. These are the true impacts to the different aspects of government. But
And
the
see-
good news is, as a homeowner, if I'm buying a house, I get to put that impact fee into my overall mortgage, and I essentially finance it out over 30 years buying the house.
Correct. Those 3 counties right there have not slowed down one bit.
Nope, not at all. And they do some rebate. I don't think that's what you're supposed to call them, but that's the way I think about it. They do some rebate for commercial because they're always trying to attract commercial.
Correct. Seeing the growth that's everywhere, Duval, St. John's, Clay. I mean, I definitely think it's something we need to consider looking at, and I mean, I'm in favor of paying for the study just to get the number in front of us to say yes or no.
Mhm.
My opinion, because I see it, and like I said, those 3 counties there, it's not slowed it down one bit. So that county has taken advantage of it and can get ahead of it rather than reacting once all the homes are there.
Nassau County's much the same.
Correct.
Yes,
That's right.
Nassau County just went through the same process.
That's right.
Hey, sorry, but this is, check you out a second. If we're building a ship house, do we have to pay impact fee?
So what's interesting, that's a great question. So Clay and St. John's wants to do this, but I don't know if they ever passed it. Clay has an affordable housing waiver where
Yeah.
essentially if you're willing to build, and I think it's below 80% of the area median
Yeah.
income,
Low income housing.
then what they do is when you go to get your building permit, as long as the person's, they've already qualified, they hold on to it, and as long as they close, they waive the fee. For ones that, if a builder's building like a spec type home, the builder pays it and then it gets rebated at closing. They have to apply for it, but there's actually programs for
Yeah,
affordable
there-
housing.
Any other questions on that one? I know it's food for thought, and we're early in the process.
Late in the night.
Ready to move on a little bit?
Roll with it.
Okay. The next increase is going to be on our accounting and auditing. That's an increase of $17,000. That's just because we've seen an increase for our auditing services. We know we've engaged in that last year with James Moore, and so we reflected that to what their new updated rate will be for this upcoming year.
So next year, we're already in our contract, we've committed to a new rate.
The engagement letter, when it lists each year, it has what that rate for each year will be. Yes, sir.
That was part of the original contract.
Yes.
And then we're looking at putting that out to bid after next year.
Right.
Correct. And that engagement letter came in, I think, yesterday.
So it'll be on your next agenda.
Correct.
Sorry, I knew I read it. I didn't remember if it was on tonight or not.
I think the additional was for the work they had to do
That would be my
outside the
guess.
scope
It was.
of work.
And there,
That
and
was,
there's
that was
potential
additional
for that as well.
work that was not auditing, that was
Yep.
working on the books.
Yeah. And there's some potential for that again this year too, which is part of that increase.
But I guess what I'm getting at, this is for the audit that will be done for the 24-25 year. No.
The current year. The audit for the
Yeah,
budget that we're
for the
currently
year that we are
We're in
currently in
22,
today.
23 now.
No. We're in the 24-25 right now.
Yeah.
So
I don't know,
this,
we had a bunch of federal money those years. Those were good years.
we're in the 24-25 year, we're budgeting for the 25-26. So this audit is for the services for what we're
Right.
in right now.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
25, 26.
Yes, sir. Correct.
And that's part of the engagement. This is what we agreed, okay.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay. Moving on down, another increase is in postage. That's
Okay.
just truing that up with what our actual costs are. This is one that I like to point out. Kayla and I aren't mailing out $22,000 worth of letters a year. But the board, you get the luxury of paying for all of the tax bills when they go out. You get to foot that bill. So that's the reason why that's so high. I just want to make sure I point that out for our two new commissioners.
You
as
just
well.
got a postage increase, did y'all include that?
Yes, sir, we did. Postage rate increase and,
Right.
and the increase in the notices from the, growth over the last
Okay.
year. Yes, sir. Let's see, that concludes our operating. Everything else is the same, so unless you have any specific questions on operating, there's no increases from current year on those. Let's give it a quick review. Everybody good?
Yeah, let's keep rolling.
All right,
That's good.
capital. If we will, just go and put straight to page 9, Cheryl, for that one. So the only capital that we're asking for is tied back to our contract/grants manager position. So, you guys, you walk through the building, we don't have any more office space here. We do have a storage space that's, as you come in the hallway where the brick wall is, there's a very nice size space that's utilized for storage now. Should we move forward with the funding of that position, we would like to convert that storage space into office space. We are maxed out on office space and storage really internally for file storage. So that would allow us to have some more usable space than we have now. It's really not, gets a lot of dirt and leaves and things like that get blown under the door. So it's not one of those that you could really put things that you don't want exposed to the elements there. But in the meantime, like I said, we would need it for additional office space. And then it's too big for just one person to be in. So of course some overage for different for storage as well that's in a more secured environment. So if we do not move forward with a grants manager, we could also remove this from the budget because ideally we would not need that conversion done if we didn't have additional staff to put in it. Any questions on that? I'm good.
Let's keep rolling.
Yes, you
We
guys are
got-
good, I'm
let's-
good.
Let's keep rolling.
Ready for the next budget, Mr. Chairman, or are we still contemplating?
I was just thinking, we can move on.
Okay. All right, next one is shift. We've already done that. We'll move into the health reimbursement account. Cheryl, I don't know if that spreadsheet was in what I had already. So commissioners, I apologize. Some of these that we move into in the next last items, they may not be in that link that we sent you.
Call our
Hmm?
schedule, because I don't have the next.
It's got a period in the front of it.
I don't have it listed on that.
You don't have health reimbursement account? I
I
didn't
do,
check that.
what I was gonna say is that I didn't make spreadsheets for some of these. I got this long list that we need to go through anyways. Like the court reimbursements that always stay 9,500, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most
Okay.
of this stuff is gonna be,
Okay, can we just,
Yeah.
just run through them? Let's tell us, is there a difference, what it is because I would say the HRA doesn't have,
No.
it doesn't have any staff or anything in it, right?
no, sir, it's just our
It went down,
requirement. in the budget.
$20,000.
Cheryl, I'm sending
the
it
dot.
to you now.
It said we lost a little bit there when that power outage went out.
Okay. So health reimbursement account is 20,000, Cheryl.
To lower?
Twen-
Went down,
20,000 even?
yes. I can put it up on the screen. Okay, what's the next one?
HRA only changes minus $20,000 in payouts to medical for employees, which is basically all this accounts for.
That's correct, that's it.
And we're not looking at raising the contributions to the HRA this year.
Yes, we are to $20, and that's all in everybody's budget.
So everybody's already put that in their budget, it's already included.
Constitutionals knew about it, everything.
Everything. So we have already seen all that.
Yes,
Yes,
right.
This is
So-
one that we rotate
I know,
periodically.
we make a decision upon the
Yes, sir.
need
Sometimes
the-
it's $5 an employee,
Right.
and this year, the account's gotten a little low.
So
we
we need
think
to build it back up.
$20 per employee. And that's
What
it.
this is to our
As she
two new
explained, our
commissioners,
fund
it's a HRA, we use it to subsidize our employees'
Out-of-pocket costs.
out-of-pocket costs.
Medical.
Medical.
For
Only.
qualified.
Qualified medical
Qualified events, if they have something that meets our HRA reimbursement, they can submit, that to us, to our HR departments, and that's what funds that. Like I said, every year it rotates slightly between $5 and $20.
Sometimes we
an
don't put
employee.
nothing in it because it builds up.
This is, helps them cover what, when they have high deductibles.
Right.
Yes, sir.
This gets their money back.
Yeah.
Right.
So in essence, they almost end up with very little.
It's a
any
benefit
deductible.
to them, big
Yeah.
benefit. And all, everybody helps pay for it.
Yeah, and that's how we keep our rates down a little lower, is we
Yeah.
keep our deductible really high, but we
Yeah.
help offset it to the employees with the HRA. So we get a better premium from that.
Okay.
Okay,
Let's
this
move,
is,
let's move on past that one.
This is gonna be the summary sheet, instead of creating all those small little Excel sheets and stuff that hasn't changed, I tried to update it throughout this meeting. But I have breakdown as well, okay? But this is your summary sheet that you should be accustomed to looking at, and we are still in the negative in a lot of departments, okay? And like Sarah said, normally the general revenue or general fund will support all this.
Okay, but let's just, can we kind of just run through the list, rest on our regular list here? Which
Next on
is
the
like,
list, Cheryl's
the
finance.
finance, it says finance at Cheryl.
Yeah. And again, Cheryl, this one may be because of the changes that Stacy mentioned earlier in the evening, as the finance budget's probably gonna have to be reviewed anyway.
Well, I'm a little bit puzzled then. Does finance fall under the county or does it fall in the clerk's budget?
Does both. You got the
How's that?
Clerk finance and you got a county finance. Under the county.
So this is the county finance portion that's in the
Which-
clerk's.
Which only has.
Stacy supervises those staff, but it comes from the board side, yes, sir.
It
So-
only has the ADG software in it.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing we, purchased was paper for y'all's budget books.
Which we didn't get this year.
And you see there's a 0. So we decreased that. Okay, but right now it's only the maintenance for ADG. And then,
Which is what? Which,
Our
finance
annual
software.
maintenance
That's the
costs for our
software.
finance.
I understand, but what's the number? That's what I'm trying to get to. I'm not seeing, we,
17.5.
17.5, that's right here.
so the finance portion for county is 17.5?
That's just for the software. All the staff are under Stacy's budget, since she mentioned. Yes, sir. You have clerk, finance, and board finance. Stacy,
I
the bulk of
understand.
it's under clerk.
I understand, but I'm gonna come back to the point to where if it's the clerk's responsibility, why are we putting money in our budget? Why wouldn't it all go into theirs? She's the comptroller's, the responsibility is, she has to do it for all of us. It's a requirement to serve the board.
Mhm.
It seems like we're overcomplicating by putting finance issues in the county. If it is a comptroller's responsibility to do it, put it in one budget. Okay.
I don't see any reason for it. We can check into it, but
I just don't understand. We don't have staff. We don't do anything here. We don't have anything with it. It's $17,000 for.
This is the finance program that the county commissioner bought.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
For the clerk.
Then leave it. Leave it where it's at.
I just
Let's
wanted
be
to make,
moving on.
I wanted to make sure that you was aware of what you was talking about.
What's the next one, Sarah?
You know what I'm saying?
I know
Property
exactly
appraiser
where you're at. I
operations.
agree. I agree. I just.
Just
This
want
is
to
just for
clarify.
those
it-
maps
it
and
don't be in
emails.
our struggle.
It
Exactly.
does. It's 1,400.
Thank you.
If we're gonna pay for it, then shut up.
Mhm.
All right, so just the property appraiser operations, I don't know of any other projects going on, so I was gonna leave it at the, regular repairs and maintenance. 1,300 and 2,400 for office supplies.
I'm not aware of any changes as well. So we're required to fund some of those on our end without it going through Tim Split's budget, and that's simply what that's for.
Yeah, he's found a revenue producing constitutional. Plus, those office supplies are the toner for the mapping printer.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, so 17.5 is the increase for finance?
No, that is a
No,
total
that's
budget.
just, that's what we pay for the burn.
75,000, yes.
Gotcha. So there is no increase.
There is no increase.
Gotcha.
So
I missed
for,
that one.
so for the finance one, there's zero increase.
Yeah,
For
property
property
appraiser.
appraisers, what's the increase?
No
Is there?
increase.
No.
Well, it's, yeah, no, under operations, there's none.
Well, what-
And,
Okay.
and the line item for property appraisers for operations,
there's no increase there.
On the
There's
county
no
side.
increase.
No.
Okay.
And that, like I said,
He
that's
has
just
his
repairs and
budget, but-
maintenance and
Right.
office supplies.
Ours is
Gotcha.
none.
What's your next?
So this is the
Tax
building tax
collector,
collector,
property
property
appraiser,
appraiser,
Same
building.
tax collector, same thing, Cheryl, 1,500, that's our building maintenance. That we own the building, so we have to pay for those things.
Well, what's
and
the
that's where it
28
comes
right there?
Now, what I was gonna ask on this is we're trying to do the ADA, compliance of the doors
from. Mhm.
and, the bathroom
Bathrooms.
door.
She does need some improvements to the bathroom flooring in there, Cheryl. It's showing its age, and I think there's some concerns about maybe it lifting in a couple of places. But I think that,
This is the amount
Building-
Shannon gave me.
yes, then that's accurate.
I thought we was gonna try to do the exterior doors in ADA through the ARPA money.
No, sir, we budgeted, that's on the courthouse. You're
Yes.
thinking
So that's a-
courthouse. There's some match money in there for that.
Okay.
Which one are you talking about? Property appraiser?
We are on
Tax
property
collector?
appraiser right
This is
now.
tax collector.
Tax collector.
We already went.
Oh,
through
I'm
property
sorry,
appraisal.
I'm sorry, where did property appraiser?
it
Yes.
says tax collector / property appraiser building.
Yes.
So it's going up 28?
Correct.
28,000, yes.
The-
The building
and
needs
this
some
is the
maintenance,
building,
yes.
Okay.
And the bathrooms need some updates and the doors
Yeah.
need some updates, and that's where that $28,000 comes
What,
in.
okay,
Yes, sir.
we understand the request.
Yes.
Mhm.
Next on the agenda, on the list, Cheryl, just so you can get, we got the supervisor of elections building also, 1,900,
I have no projects going on there.
and we're not aware of any other.
Okay, legal counsel.
Oh, Rich Commando, how
He's
much
got
is he
a
hurting us this year? He's got a 3% increase in his contract built in every year.
Good night.
You got that one pulled up, 1,600, Cheryl.
I think we rounded it down last year. Cause like the end number is like 666 or like,
Oh,
oh yeah, we're not
no.
doing that.
Yeah, no, we don't want that.
Okay, that's all there.
So no
What's-
changes other than just the 3% that's contractual.
I have to say that's money well spent.
So is that an increase on this one?
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
By how much?
Yeah, how
We're
much
at
more?
It looks like $2,101.
$2,141, is
No,
that,
$1.
where are you reading that at?
Right here. 72,141.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay, I'm trying to see from that far away, I didn't see that was
2101.
40, I thought that was an even 70,000 on the
I
other
would
one.
turn that screen. but-
No,
So
you're
it's
good.
gone up 2,000, what'd you say?
$2,101.
$1.
Yeah.
Keeping him here all night. He's gonna charge us more.
Next,
Supervisor of
Cheryl,
elections building was zero.
0 increase, yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Cheryl, up next is community centers, 3310.
Community, I don't have anything, for that one either. It's this.
That's all of those that fall into that same category.
The utility services are for all the Sanderson, the voting houses. We did true that up to 4,000, so that's a 1,400 increase. The Sanderson community, I wanted to ask.
We're gonna, that's current budget year.
What do you have in there now for the Sanderson?
We've spent
This
it
year is
all.
10,000, I went up 3, but I wanted to ask first.
I think we should plug in 50,000 as a safe number.
For next year?
I thought we
next-
wanted to do
I
that
hope we're
current budget
doing
year.
it current budget.
Yeah, I thought we were
I thought
moving
the
forward with
direction
that.
that was current budget year.
Yes.
That's correct. That's
Yeah.
correct.
So we
leave it at
wouldn't,
10?
I would take it back to 10.
10, yes,
Yeah, I
ma'am.
wouldn't
Yep.
raise it, because we're gonna take care of most of their issues this year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everything else, except for this post office, that's another hot topic that we've
They
been
have
talking
been
about
hitting
throughout
us
the year.
heavy on repairs in this last year. Everything they can think of, they're.
Did they ever sign a new, oh no, we just had the lease that we
We
can
have
never
the
get
lease
out
Well,
of.
forever
the lease
for
we can
nothing.
never get out of, and we're responsible for everything, and we lose money every year, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Unless we find somebody to buy it.
No, we can't.
You can't
Our
sell
lease-
it?
we
No, we
cannot
can't.
sell
Our
it.
lease
There
says
is
we can't sell it.
no clause for us to get out of it.
I wish
And
I
then-
was the salesman that sold
Can
them
we
dad
cut
in the
the water
jail.
off until they leave?
I mean, probably.
That's
You wanna
silly.
move somebody else in with them?
Yeah. One
But
thing I
there,
want to
there was
point
stuff
out.
in their lease that they weren't doing that they were supposed to do, like landscape and maintenance. or
Landscape
something.
and maintenance and all of that. We sent
Yeah,
a
and
crew out
we-
there to do it all.
Yeah, and we did send it's not even gotten a response on that. I mean, we're maintaining it now. It looks nice if you ride by there.
It
That's
does
because
look
we've
good. I
added
was
it to
gonna
our
ask you who
contract.
done it.
Yeah, it was awful.
Are we continuing to do it?
Yes,
We have continued to maintain the post office.
yes.
And
They will not acknowledge our request. I can't get a response back on it. We had to add it to our loan service agreement because of how bad it was. And there's no, I mean, let's fight with the federal government on it if you like, but they've not responded to it at all.
CSX.
Yeah. It was awful, and we had so many complaints on it. I said, we
No
can't
wonder it's
get
looking really good because we're doing it.
Yeah.
Let's move on, and
So we
that's
got
gonna
a-
be a conversation
I
for
know.
another day.
Okay, so
We got a
what do I-
$1,400 increase, correct?
Congressperson.
Yes,
Call.
5,000. I moved it up to 10. We've been keeping it at 5, but,
The $5,000.
they've gotten us.
Well,
So
if you wanna get,
$6,400 increase.
if you wanna get a zero, I would fix to put a lot of money in the Sanderson community, just drop it to, instead of 10 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
Take that 5, put it in the post office, cause we're fixing to spend money on the,
Yeah, I may not need it.
and we're not gonna need 5,000 in maintenance, I hope, after we do everything that we're
Right.
gonna do.
Right.
So it would make sense to keep 10 there and then drop it down.
Mhm. Switch them around.
And maintain a $1,400 increase?
And that just
Yeah.
keeps us at the low increase.
Yep.
Okay.
One thing I want to point out quickly is the Historical Society does need some repairs, but we are working on a historic preservation grant to do that. So we won't talk about any funding for it, but I want to make sure we recognize that it needs repairs, but
Yeah.
we're going to try to do that other way.
So the net result where we're at is an increase of
Is
1,400.
that the jail you're talking
Yes.
about? The old jail?
The old jail, yes.
The old-
The old jail.
Okay, what's the next one?
Next one is memberships, 3,500.
I don't have any changes.
There are no changes on any of that. Those are all.
Most of them have answered me and have submitted the same thing.
Yep.
So I don't have anything. on this
I don't
list.
either.
Okay.
No anticipated increases in any of those.
Next one.
Human services.
3510.
35.
Human Services, the only one that has gone up is COA went up 5,000.
Mhm.
But I am unsure about the COA repairs and maintenance.
I don't anticipate, I mean, they're not in the old building anymore, so, and most of everything that's any kind of issue right now is under warranty, so that's probably
I
fine.
have not heard from Medicaid yet. That is a state program, and they normally tell us the cost for this, so, I just wanna let you know that I'm leaving it at the 500,000.
One, that I wanna quickly go over, if we don't have any questions, health department match, that, $66,000 that's there, is that right, Cheryl? I'm sorry, the podium's kind of in the way,
I
is that
got
what
it.
we're at?
Meridian or the
Health department?
Yes.
66? Okay, so they have a need for a vehicle at the health department. That's not something we fund, but we can go through our procurement process much easier than they can. So the administrator, has requested that if we buy that vehicle for her, deduct it from that $66,000. So it wouldn't cost us any more money, and she would then just get the remainder of that. So we're looking at a mid-sized SUV, something along the lines of a Ford Explorer, between $45,000 at most. And so she's asked if we would procure that vehicle for her, and then whatever remains after the vehicle is purchased, just issue that to them. So again, it doesn't cost us anything, but it is a very detailed process for them to procure a vehicle. And they've requested in lieu of just us sending them cash, we do it that way.
Does it get titled in their name? Like
No,
it's
they
not-
get titled in ours and we actually insure them. That's the way that statute requires anyway. So it's ours now they handle the maintenance of it But as far as titling and insuring, the Board of Commissioners is responsible for that anyway.
How much do we pay them right now anyway?
66,000.
That's what we pay them. So they're asking for the same thing, except instead of us giving them cash, give them a
A
vehicle.
vehicle and cash with what's left.
They're asking for $66,000.
Yes, sir. Just wanted to
Same
make
thing
sure.
they already had.
Yes,
They
sir.
just want us to buy that vehicle and hand them a vehicle
Yes,
and
sir.
whatever balance is.
Yes, sir. But when it
And
comes
if it's
up,
more than 66,000, we don't buy it.
correct, and it would not be. But I just
Or
want
we
to make
just
sure when we
pass
get
this
to
out.
that part in the budget in the new
Hope it's
year,
not more than
we're gonna have to
66.
present that to you all for
Very
approval to
expensive.
purchase. So I didn't want you guys to be surprised as to why we're buying the health department a
No
vehicle,
problem.
because obviously that's over my purchasing
Four
authority.
cylinder.
So that is all. No changes to it. I said just,
E-bike.
yep.
So what's the total increase on this whole line?
It was,
5,000.
5,660.
Yeah.
5,600.
660.
Okay. Courthouse maintenance.
2,000, I'm sorry. Cheryl?
That one I used to.
Yeah.
Which one's up? 5650. Which one was it?
3510.
Health department.
Yeah. Human Services is the main title there.
This one I had, but, this one I
We should have had a big reduction in this one, Cheryl, because we did the parking lot this year out of this account, and we won't need it in the upcoming year, right?
I had no expenses for that.
For the parking lot?
Yeah, it's done. Mary needs to send you the invoice on it then. But yeah, we won't need to carry it forward. It's finished.
I had no expense.
Okay.
It looks good too.
It does. It looks
It
very
really
nice. We're
does.
still waiting for it
Which
to
parking lot?
cure.
The one we
Completely.
done by the courthouse over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not complete just yet.
I mean, but
Yeah.
what they've done, good drainage. I went over there when it was
It's-
flooding.
yeah,
It was
it's
dry as a
been
bone.
great. Yeah.
So,
I'll remind Mary to send you the invoice for that because I know they paid for it out of Chris's budget. We just need to
Right.
transfer the money.
but it's a good. They done a good job.
Mhm.
So there'll be a negative there.
It would be. That repairs and maintenance, $60,000 for the parking lot. We don't need that carried forward.
And it was
You
that
don't
done at the
think we need
courthouse?
this As
Hmm.
far as all the renovations, as
I mean,
we're finding issues?
we've got the appropriation project. We've got an RFP that we're finalizing for architectural services on that. That's the main thing that we're starting with. So if the board would, that appropriation will probably not be enough to fund everything that we need to do over there, just because that roof is gonna be pretty costly. So that's up to the board if you guys would like to see us keep it in there or take it out. But we do have a grant to address most of that stuff this year. Again, that's not general repairs and maintenance, but that's our major items that we have there. So we could reduce it down.
And it was in there for the parking lot.
It was, correct. Parking lot's done.
And the parking lot's done, and now we've got received a grant for the roof and the repairs on the
Yes, it's
skylight.
windows and
Get rid of
doors
that
and all
thing.
sorts of things. I'm really worried that the architectural services and the roof repair is gonna eat up most of that grant, but yes, sir, we do have it identified.
Well, what I'm
Elevators.
suggesting is we take it out,
Yeah,
and then we'll cross that bridge when it gets here, and let's hope that,
okay. We can always come back and
you know,
add
we're
something
looking at
back
a
in.
$2.5 million,
Yes, sir.
$60,000 is not gonna make or break the bank, but it'll help
Yes, sir.
get us in the budget.
Had to
Yes.
start somewhere.
Yeah, and once we get more into that
I
grant
mean,
and everything, we can.
Unless I knew for a fact that we needed it, I say leave it in. We don't know that we're gonna need it. It's just,
Right.
so.
To $60,000 reduction.
Okay, next one.
So which one is this? Which one are we?
Repairs and maintenance.
Courthouse maintenance.
Now, will that, I mean, that should be higher though, right? Once they send the invoice?
Well, this is for
But
the-
it's in current budget year. We don't need it to carry forward, yes. But no, they didn't use $60,000 at all. There's plenty remaining from that.
Yeah,
That'll just be in your cash carry forward.
Yes,
It was
sir.
budgeted, but
Yeah.
I'm talking about for the parking lot.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
finished,
Yeah.
so but it's in current budget, so Mary needs the invoice for it, so it'll come out of the $60,000 in current budget. We
Gotcha,
don't need to
okay.
carry it
But it was
forward for
budgeted.
next year.
Okay.
Next one.
Courthouse facilities, 92.
what did you get for your total for that previous one? I can't read it.
This one is
56?
Where?
restricted.
Yep.
The one above.
5660.
Increase?
Yes.
This one has the $80,000 improvement. This one, is the one I cut it back because our cash is cut back
Yeah.
on this one, out of court facilities.
Like Cheryl said, this is a restricted fund. We have to make the expenses match the revenue on this one. And,
So it went up 1,500.
No, this
no, it
one,
went down.
it went down. We don't have improvements in it. 80,000. Which last year I did caution that it's going down rapidly.
Okay, but what you have shown up there is,
I have.
Now, this
100
is general maintenance for the courthouse though on that one.
That last one we just did, and we took out 60,000. This is court facilities restricted. I have $102,000 in it. So I posted 104 because we'll get 2 months of revenue.
Gotcha.
That's all we got left in court facilities. I mean, yeah.
This is the one that the chief judge also has to sign off on. You guys don't have full authority on how you can even spend this one.
Is
We
that
have
the one that has the
recommendations.
committee?
Hmm?
Is that the one that has the committee?
It has a
meetings?
committee and the chief judge has, yes, sir. We make a recommendation and if you guys support it, then it goes to the chief judge and if he supports it, then we can actually spend it.
Okay, makes sense.
So what's the increase or the decrease?
There is, we decreased it $84,500.
that don't help us with the budget.
No,
Nope.
it's restricted
It's
fund.
restricted fund anyway. Cheryl, the next one is your miscellaneous
So I don't-
stuff. It's your state attorney, public
We can put it
defender,
in there, we
clerk of
just
the
know it don't
circuit
help us.
court, all the guardian ad litem, county judge. Remember how we lumped all that together? You don't have a specific department on those, but that's all of your court services.
It's all the chapter 27 or 29 requirements.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I don't know if, the public defender,
All right.
the public defender had an increase, Cheryl. That's that one file that I sent you. I'm not sure if you've got it on what you're looking at or not, but I can tell you. Public defender did have an increase. That's the only one I'm aware of. Was state attorney an increase this year?
Okay, the law library is still 9,500,
Yeah.
no change. These normally remain the same. 113. Oh, here it is.
What's that?
Stop it. This keyboard, I think is dying.
It might be.
It's probably tired like I am.
Again, this is legal aid, 9,500, that remains the same. This is juvenile trust, remains the same. Basically, all these that we're doing, they're restricted accounts. You can't spend any more than you collect.
Right.
And we're basically a pass-through. It deposits into these accounts from tickets, fines, court fees, and I gotta send it right back out to somebody else.
And that's
With,
the case for courthouse facility, on our spreadsheet, it's line 37 courthouse facilities as well as the 38 state's attorney, public defender, all that. Both of those are restricted, am I correct?
Yeah, all of those except state attorney and public defender. That's a
Prevention.
request from them. The others are all restricted.
But they're not going up or down, right?
They are. Public defender is
Public
going up.
defender.
Well, you gave me that earlier in print. Was it an increase, Cheryl? State attorney? No, okay. So the only increase to the group on 38 would be public defender.
And how much does it increase?
Can you pull that one up, Cheryl? I've only got the total in front of me, I'm sorry. It's not very much money at all.
And it's obviously a requested increase.
It is, yes.
There's not a,
And also, Alachua County fronts most of that. They request very little from Baker on public defender stuff. And it's mostly on IT costs this year. Do you have a number? You need to look it up. 1580.
Okay, we don't pay them.
I get no money from that.
Huh. Go this way. There it is. I don't have an increase for them. How much
$3.
$3,
All right, we'll agree to that. Go ahead.
7095 to 7098.
I just hit the wrong key on the keyboard.
Well, my concern is she presented it as an increase, but it's less than what you have up here.
Okay, so, but are we suffice to say it's a really small number?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get it corrected for the next ones. Let's.
The total budget says
Let's
13,125.
have a clock and we
Yeah,
argue
but we
about
got
$100.
utilities.
I'll give you
Yes.
$3. Let's
Okay.
go.
Let's-
So IT,
I'll give you $3.
Okay, so-
Here.
You collect that, we could be.
I got it in my
so
pocket.
state attorney and the public defender, scroll down a little bit.
Hallelujah. We've been here a long time.
So I think she's, okay, so I think she's asking, looking at what you've got on there, Cheryl, then it will be a $13,000 increase, because we're not funding
Okay,
anything
so it's
towards
a
IT.
$3,000 increase, because normally it's $10,895.
Okay,
We gotta pay for everything in the building.
right.
And, some of their
No, that's state
operations.
attorney, this is public defender.
No, this is public defender, state attorney's up here.
Are you sure? Okay, then yes, increase of $3,125.
3,000?
$3,125.
Next.
And all jokes aside, the county server cuts off at midnight, just so y'all know it's 11:17 p.m.
Oh, let's,
I'm gonna,
we got
I'm
two
gonna
more.
cut off
We-
at midnight too.
We're gonna be cutting out of here before midnight.
Cutting out
So
here.
let's work on, the last one on here just says miscellaneous expenses, internal transfers to other departments, Cheryl.
What miscellaneous expenses is where we
3520.
do our transfers in and out, I'm sorry,
It said 3520 on your
where we
budget
do our
number.
transfers in and out, where the general pays for the solid waste. Right now, we're paying $519,625 according to the budget you saw.
Mhm.
This is coming out of general. And fine and forfeiture, the jail. And the fire department, we just talked about and looked at. That one I did not update.
But we don't put a plus or minus in that particular row because it's already figured into all of the other categories, correct?
No, this is coming out of the general to supplement those extra departments. So yes, you have to take it out of here.
But we're not paying it in that department and paying it here too.
Just transfers.
These are just
They are
transfers.
yes, sir.
Right,
Yes,
so if
So it's
we're gonna
not-
show the dollar in that count, in that particular department, say, to balance that, so they get, easy numbers, say they got a $100,000 budget, and there's 100,000 spent in there, although they may only have $70,000 revenue, you gotta put the other 30,000 here. That 30,000 is not the 30,000 in addition to the 100, it's,
That's correct.
this is to make it balance.
That's correct.
These are transfers to make it balance and get it to the right number.
To get it to what they requested.
Right.
I'm not gonna say it's the right number, but.
Well, get
what they
it,
requested.
get the two to the, so they match it. Got it.
Got
So
it.
it don't change, so,
The only other thing I need to focus on with
That's
this
Crystal Wade, right?
department is what we are going to pay for corrections. Last year, y'all decided to pay that 2.3 plus the 300 plus a rate, so we will need to talk about this.
yeah, but already, we've already got $406,000 increase for corrections already in there. Understand, that's the request, but in the corrections budget, BCCMC, the increase for last year is $406,000. So, and that's what you're talking about, right? How do we fund it?
Yes.
So at some point, we
And
gotta
that's not
decide.
including 3% raise of 140,000 that he verbally told us.
That's
Okay.
not included?
Not including the 3%, the 37 extra people.
Yeah, he said
Is
it was not.
139,446.
So I need to add that to the
Hang on,
406.
I'm gonna come back to my notes as well.
Sorry.
How much?
139,446, which we said was 140. even.
140,000 even.
At
Exactly.
139,446, so you're right, 139,446. So let me go back to here.
Makes it 546. What about the sheriff's office? What you got for the sheriff's office?
Sheriff's office, I included 75,000, he said for 3%.
So what's your total number?
Don't be getting all sophisticated, it's too late. That would be 104, you're gonna
I'm missing the paper. I was wondering where my
get, you're
paper.
gonna get totally
Water still.
unhappy right here. So right now,
Leave it
under,
alone.
law enforcement,
That's my
we
computer.
went to 66.4.
3% increase would be 75,000.
That's right.
So we got to add, to our numbers, we got to add 75,000 to it.
So
Get-
to the 693.
Yes. Because you'll see the formula is $6,151,929 is what was in the budget. Then you got the salary grant of $344,131, which is a pass-through, because we get reimbursed by the state, but you have to show it. And then you need to add 75,000.
75 even.
Yes.
For 3%.
So
And
2295.
that is the 3% of people, that's the 3% that they get,
Yeah,
who
so
doesn't
that's
get
where I'm
up
at.
to the 50,000 salary, remember? He's marking the minimum
Right.
up to 50, this is the extra.
The 75 is the extra to get everybody up an
They either
additional
get a
3%.
raise or that policy
Okay.
The
adjustment.
policy is
Right.
1, and then 3% for everybody else. That-
Correct.
And the 3% for everybody else is 75 grand in
That's
addition.
right.
Because his.
That's where I'm confused on the BCCMC is because none of them guys are at $50,000.
He said that the increase was, they get 50,000 policy adjustment or the 3%, and he had 37 employees that get 139,446. They have more than 37 employees under the BCCMC.
I know that.
So the rest of them get the 50,000, which is in the budget.
37 get the 50,000, bump up to 50,000.
No,
No, they get the 3%.
they get the 3%. Let's look at that formula. Which I got.
Well, and here's where we're at. I think we got to refine numbers anyway, but where we're at right now as a whole, and he and I have been cross-checking each other to make sure our numbers are right. Right now, with the request, the increase from last year's budget to this year's budget is only $2,295,804.
That's not
That's
bad.
all in, that's all the
Say
increase
that one more
is.
time.
$2,295,804.
How do you say that with a straight face?
I'm so tired it don't
Mine's
round.
off. Mine's $2,295,971. So we're pretty close.
A couple of mine I just rounded at the very
Couple
beginning.
$100 right
All
there
right,
on
but at the end of the day,
2.3, but hey.
$200 on 2.2 million. I'll take that as a rounding error.
Close
I'm
enough.
simply saying there's a
Now, did you
lot of
add in
ask.
Road department and all that, those increases?
They've been tracking
I've
it
been
the
tracking
whole
it all
Okay,
day.
because, you know.
And so
some of
here's
this is-
one of the things that we're gonna have to do. I'm sorry, go ahead. One of the things that we gotta do with these numbers is go through and pull the ones out that are restricted funding.
Restricted funding.
That can't do anything, so it's not gonna help. It's, if there's restricted funding, we got to make sure that we're not overspending that particular fund, or we're okay with that. But for everything else is general revenue, and that's where we really got to get to. How do we get these things cut down from?
You got fire assessment that you're gonna pay for general. You got solid
Mhm.
waste, you're gonna pay, okay, so just the
All
ones
those
that you
dep-
know are secure, how's that? Cause you said restricted funds that are paid for theirself. Those are they're restricted, they got assessments, but they don't pay for theirself. We have to pay.
Well, I understand, but what I mean, for example, for example, road department
Yes.
is completely standalone. It don't matter what happens there. We're not gonna spend money from general revenues over for the road department.
Right.
We have to make sure that the road department is living within its means too, that we're not spending more than the proposed revenue coming in for that one, so we're not continuing to eat into those restricted funds more. We shouldn't be spending more than we're making in road department.
Right.
However, fire rescue, we know we are going to transfer money from general revenues. And so we know what our fire assessments and things, what our assessments are coming in from that. And whatever we don't have coming from that, it's gotta come from general revenue. So so in this case, we add to the general revenue, we add to it the fire assessment money coming too. We know we're gonna spend more than that. So that's all a part of our income.
Okay.
But I'm trying to get down to, at the end of the day, there's a few of these funds that are restricted, that has some increases, but they're restricted. So they're not going to be funded from general revenues. Everything else, we've got to get what is funded from the general revenues. Because all I can tell you is there's going to be a number of folks, in my opinion, we're going to share equally in the unhappiness in 2 weeks or whenever we come back to this, because everybody's going to have to, unless there's some phenomenal increases in revenue.
We don't even have expect revenue. When do we expect revenue numbers?
I looked at the site today and they said they had till the end of the month. We haven't even gotten commissioners or elected officials' salaries either. So that's all subject to change too. It didn't change until the last bit of September. This one time it was October. So we don't even have that change.
Well, here's what we will do. We will adopt a budget in September. And we may have to do some considerable amendments once we get those revenues and to cut stuff out. My thought on it was, if we don't have anything better than what we know, is we're gonna stick to what we know.
Right.
And if we get more money, then we can always add something back. But I don't want to go through the pain of adopting something and then going through all this to adopt something and to a month later go back through it all to start cutting it. Once you give it to everybody, they think they've got to have it and they can't live without it. And not only that, if they've already spent it, too bad, so sad, we don't get it back.
Right.
So I think we need to be focused on what is a realistic increase in revenue. And we're going to have to make some assumptions on what that's going to be, and then try to work to get a budget to meet that, or be very close to it.
Yep. You're right.
I know the state's working on sales tax, communication tax right now and truing up some figures.
So by state requirements, though, we still have to have a budget adopted in September, but yet they haven't given us the information for us to adopt. So is there any statutory requirement for them to provide the information at a certain time?
They can freeze or whatever.
There's been a lot of asks, I can say that. Big numbers in every department. And all I can say is, from my standpoint, there will be cuts. We will not be able to do what's being asked.
Quick question, do we want to set another date for this type of budget review? Obviously, we know our schedule for hearings and all of that, but in light of what we know is that we've got some reductions to make. Do you guys want to go ahead and talk about that now? Or do we want to come back to that?
Like tomorrow, 12:01?
Yeah, I said, we're running out of time. The server's going to cut off our live stream in just a few minutes, so we've got to hurry up and wrap this up. But
Well, let me just say, in 2 weeks, which is, I just realized now the timing.
15,
I will.
19th.
19th. I will not be here. I'll be out of country on travel. I'm flying out on Sunday, and I'm going Monday, Tuesday, and make it home sometime Wednesday evening. So
What's your next big?
God.
Well, the meeting after that's the tentative adoption.
So it's.
Which is like just 3 weeks.
We really
from
need to
that.
meet off. Honestly, this is too much to do in one day on a commission meeting.
What
We
about
really
the
need to meet
21st?
on a date that's not a commission meeting date.
Can we-
21st?
It's a Thursday.
That's the week you said you were traveling.
But
You
I'll
get
be
back
back
Wednesday.
Thursday. I'm coming back Wednesday.
You
Okay.
get back Wednesday, could we do Thursday, the 21st?
Yes,
I'm
and
sure
that would
that's
allow
another
us
day.
adequate time to advertise it as well.
Instead of the 19th?
No, sir, we would have
No,
our
in
commission meeting
addition
on the
to the
19th.
19th.
Budget review
You talking
on
about
the
August the
21st.
21st?
Yes.
August 21st.
Not here.
I won't be here. I'll be on my way to
What
Nicaragua.
about the following week if we did it?
I'm going all week.
You're all that week.
You're going
Kelly
when?
wants me to stay.
21st to the 29th.
Oh,
Yeah, and Cheryl is gone after that.
Okay, well, I mean, why can't we do next week?
unless you want me to stay.
I think we're gonna have to do it that sometime that week, and one of us is just gonna miss. I don't know how.
Can y'all do like a Monday, the 18th?
He's
Are-
gone.
In your
Or you're out.
travel,
What if we
do you
did
have the
11th or
ability to
12th?
listen in at least?
No, I am tied
You're
up
gone,
2 full
gone.
days, and I'm.
Yeah.
All right, so
and
what
I'm-
about next week?
What about the 11th or
Next
12th?
week.
Are we gonna have anything more than what we have today?
I have audit.
Yeah, I'll say Cheryl's right in the middle of a lot. That's really not enough time for us to meet and then make reductions and recommendations. It really would need to
And
be
some
later
people
in
are
this
still getting
month.
quotes,
Yeah.
and we won't have revenues by then.
You're going the whole week of the 25th.
Yeah,
the 29th.
I'll leave the 21st and return the 29th.
What about September 1st?
What about the 20th? Oh, no, Commissioner Bennett.
September 1st is the day that we do the first
Yeah,
adoption.
yeah, we gotta do
That's,
it before then.
that's on a Monday.
No, September 9th is.
That's
Oh,
after
I'm
Cheryl
sorry,
leaves
September
also,
9th.
though.
Yeah, but Cheryl won't be here.
Yeah.
We want to do it before then.
I think we're gonna have to do it either the week of the 18th or the week of the 25th.
Mm-hmm.
You leave that Thursday?
I'm not gonna be here.
Yeah, I leave early.
Because
I come home Wednesday
The
night,
19th
he's
is-
leaving Thursday morning.
19th is a board meeting, and y'all are gonna make some big decisions.
Unless y'all wanna meet the morning of the, well, no, cause Commissioner Bennett still won't be here, that's still on. so that's all.
Again, that particular week, I don't get back until Wednesday evening, he's leaving Thursday morning, so that week, we can't all be here, and he's gone the next week,
So
so.
it's Thursday or Friday the 15th, out of the question?
Yeah, we can.
Let's go ahead and do this. Let's set it up for the 21st. Commissioner Bennett will be here, and I can see if I can make arrangements to move my schedule back one day, which would put me leaving on Friday and coming back on. I can't guarantee that,
Okay.
but I have a better shot of moving mine than you do of moving
My
yours.
flights are already booked and
I'm booked
everything,
too,
and
but
and I've got, I mean,
I
we,
can try to send you everything in preparation. You can give questions.
And worst case scenario, if I arrived on that Friday, I just don't know where, or that Thursday, I just don't know where
Where
I'll
are you gonna
be.
be?
I might not even have internet till
Right.
that night, or, I mean, just the way it works over there, you just don't know.
What time of day on the 21st would you guys prefer?
I can't get here until 3.
Yeah,
At
so
least
school will be back in
later.
session after that. Do a 3 p.m. Well, that means 3 p.m. plenty of time for you?
Well, 3 p.m. would be better for me,
let's do 3.
because if I am not here, I might be in a hotel
can
by
watch
3
themselves
o'clock in
with
that
you the other day.
afternoon.
Yes, sir. At
And
least you could listen in.
And I can listen in
Yeah.
on FaceTime or Zoom.
You can
Yeah.
actually, unless someone's taking,
No,
Rich,
there's still man.
correct me, that there's a little bit different with commissioners than other boards. Can he even, he can participate
And vote.
virtually.
You
Right.
can do everything.
He can, so you could actually be,
Yeah, but
you could help give
Or
direction,
mine.
participate virtually as well.
Because I should be in the hotel by 3 p.m. that Thursday, and then I'll be
If
on
you-
good Wi-Fi, because I'll be in.
If you
and out.
can't move it, right?
Hmm?
Or if you can't move
If
it.
I'm gonna try to move it.
Mhm.
So
But
let's,
If I can't
21st
move
at
it,
3 p.m.
I'll not Zoom in, but
We'll get you.
can I FaceTime?
Whatever you want.
we can get.
Well, that's really a Clint question, however he can connect you to.
Well, I can
So
go-
he won't-
Similar to how we did Commissioner Croft, we just need to know in advance that we need to prepare for that.
Yeah, and we can have you on the phone, on speakerphone, without a problem, because
That's
that's not
fine.
in this system, yeah.
well, I won't have a phone. That's my problem. Only thing I have is Wi-Fi.
We can
Yes.
set up a computer to
Yeah, we
Zoom,
can figure something
FaceTime,
out, I'm
something.
sure.
I'm gonna try to move my schedule so I leave Friday, and that'll solve all the problems.
Mhm.
But if that's not gonna be possible, but sometimes you move your flight, it costs me $1,000. If it's
That's
gonna
right.
cost me $1,000,
That's-
I'm not moving my flight.
Yes, sir.
because I don't pay for it, the church does, and I'm just not gonna do that.
Yes, sir. So the
But if it's only a
21st
couple
at
$100, I'll eat the couple $100 and move my plan.
3. Yep. Okay, we'll
It's
get it
more
advertised.
important, I think all the commissioners need to be
I-
involved. This is big decisions.
Yeah. Okay.
And when everybody gets mad, I wanna blame Commissioner Bennett, so if he's here.
We got it, we'll advertise it.
I'll remind y'all, I will not be here for the first September hearing.
And
So
I'll
then
not be here for the second.
I'll be gone that week, but I'll try to call in for that.
Do we,
I've
I'm
already
sorry,
moved
do we
my
know what the
one mission
rollback
trip
rate is?
for September, but I'll try to move it.
If we stay at the stated rate, Cheryl?
Did we state it?
If we stay at the current rate,
Uh,
what is the percent difference from the rollback rate?
The rollback is 7.1253.
Okay, we're good. So you have to all be unanimous then, you need 4 votes. But if you exceed 10, then you need 5 votes.
Mhm.
Say it one more time. What was
2.33.
So when you have the rollback rate, when we go through the budget hearings, are gonna tell you what, even if you stay at our current rate now, I call it the stated rate. If you stay at the stated rate, because the rollback, it's a percent increase. When you're looking at percent increase under chapter 200, which governs how you levy millage and tax, if it's up to 10, if it's the same rate or below, you need 3 votes. Up to 10% is 4 votes. Anything over 10% is unanimous.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So not having a commissioner here.
So
could
not
be a
having a
problem.
commissioner would be a problem if we were over 10%.
But we're not.
7, if it's 7%, then you can do it with 4.
So what we're hearing is, so we know the first and second meeting in September, we're only going to have 4 present, but we are okay with that.
Yes.
I mean, I'll be able to call in, I believe.
Calling would be good just in case
Yeah.
somebody has an emergency.
Sure.
Okay.
Last, just to let you guys know, Jessica just walked in, but she actually texted me, and just to let you guys know how successful we were today, we broke a 27-year record for the longest commission meeting.
We wasn't trying to.
The press has been published while we have been in here.
I'm done.
That's something.
Yeah.
14
So
hours
we
and 40
outworked you
minutes.
today for the first time in a long
Well, now,
time.
I started an hour before y'all.
Okay, well then that don't count.
Yep. Thank you guys. I
Do we
appreciate
have
it.
anything else for the good of the
We
board?
do not.
Can we go home and go to bed?
Please. I gotta be right back here in a few minutes.
You might as well sleep there.
You got a blanket under you.
I do.
All right.
Thank you.
We are officially adjourned until tomorrow at 10 o'clock.